Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone around the world. I have a very special guest with me on the Confident Women Leader Show, and her name is Shashikala Menon. Welcome, Shashikala.
Thank you, Dina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's a privilege to know you, Dina.
Oh, thank you. It's more my privilege just to have you on. Shashikala is an amazing business leader in a very large healthcare organization. She is in charge and has experience around business development, experience in operations, logistics, supply chain. One thing we share is that we are passionate for developing others. And so we want to talk about how you found your confidence. Also, what are some of the things that you've learned about leadership and what other people need to feel confident? But also, being able to share on a platform like this is amazing. So I want to thank you for joining me this morning, and I'd love for you to tell the world what would you like for them to know about Shashikala Menon?
Thank you, Dina. The one thing that I would want people to know about me is that I am clearly very excited with anything which is new, which is innovative, and also to find people an opportunity to know what they're good at, right? All the time have people vibrant and passionate about whatever they do. The one thing I'm blessed about is when I get up in the morning, I'm raring to go back to work. And that I think is a privilege because being in healthcare, being able to make a difference to people's life, that's the joy that I get. And I hope all the people that I meet, all my colleagues, all my friends have this ability to have a job which they really enjoy. And I'm passionate about that. So that's that one thing which you talk to people who know me will say that passionate about innovation, passionate about doing things in a better way.
Yes, and that is for sure. And that's what I've known about you. And we've known each other, it's hard to believe, almost 2 years now. It feels like you've been in my life for a lifetime. So I love that passion in your heart for others. I think that's a real servant's heart. And so I appreciate that about you. I want to talk to you and ask you a question. What are the challenges that you see in organizations, especially during these last couple of years? And we're getting ready to go into our third year of this pandemic times, and it doesn't seem like it's ever going to let off. What are the challenges that you're trying to overcome, and what other people are faced within your organization, or maybe what even you have experienced or seen?
So most organizations have had to do things in a new way. There is no time to sort of think through and do things, right? You have to be prepared to face the business risk and to plan ahead as quickly as possible. Be flexible. And what I have seen is also to prepare our talent for these challenges, because some of the situations in the pandemic are such that which nobody has experienced. So there is no experience to go back by. You have to sort of innovate on the go and find the best possible way and be flexible enough to make the changes that you need to make
Mm-hmm.
while the work is going on, right? And healthcare is so very important. We have realized that even if you are the most developed country, you can get paralyzed by infectious diseases, which we thought was something which happens only in third world countries. So more important for healthcare organizations like us to have talent available and ready to take on, ready to jump on and take on new responsibilities. And how do you do that unless you have a constant engine which is helping to develop people to explore their strengths and to develop those leadership skills? There is nothing else we can do, right? So I think at these times like this, it's more important to scale up our people, scale up the talent, give people the opportunity to grow, to develop, and use whatever means possible to do it.
I love that. And I know that you're committed to that because you're always looking for means to develop differently, how to move things forward. We were talking yesterday morning about a really critical thing that's happening, even for some of the women that we've seen around the world. And can you talk to kind of this mindset of, having to do more than one job for the fear of what's next?
Absolutely. So, During these pandemic times, most people have gone through several emotional turmoil, plus making sure that you don't fail at your job. You want to be good at your job, you want to be good at home as well. So there is this fear of failure,
Hmm.
of unexpected. And so you do need a safe space where you could discuss with like minded people and be able to come out of that crisis by just a method, a proper proven method of root cause analysis to come to a solution. I feel it's important, especially for women. Not that it's less for men, but for women, it's more important because for men, at least they get a second chance. For women, sometimes if they fail, it's extremely difficult to sort of,
Yeah.
pick themselves up and again, So the more opportunity we give to women to be able to come up with the solution or to be brave enough, confident enough to share that solution.
Hmm.
And if in midway you feel that's not the right decision, to have the confidence to own up and say, yes, I think we should make this change.
Hmm.
But constantly be on that solution approach rather than getting scared and keeping the things to themselves, because we want all of the talented people, men
Yes.
and women, to be able to come forward and talk and come up with solutions.
Yes. Fear is paralyzing for everyone. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Fear is paralyzing. Having a process, kind of like what you were saying, with diagnostic thinking, I created it, about 6 years ago, and it was the beauty of experiencing it with you as a leader within your organization. What we find is that this fear rests kind of in that subconscious place, and if we can unpack some of that subconscious in a safe space, it really does limit organizations to iterate, to move, to create positive, changes within the organization. When you talk about, stepping into your own confidence, how do you do that? How did you do that? Looking at where you are right now in charge of everyone else's confidence booster, tell me about how you found your confidence.
So I have, through my career, had very good mentors. Okay, I've been blessed to have people who have encouraged, who have shared, who have come forward, and I have felt confident to go and approach and talk to people and share my inner fears, my thoughts, and basically just brainstorm. And I've also been encouraged to try out new things. So when I joined the HBA ambassador program the first time, I had no idea what it was, right? But we got into it, and we discovered that there are so many possibilities which it opens you up to. One of the things for us in our organization that it helped is got us to know about diagnostic thinking
Mm.
and to meet you, Dina.
Mm.
So even when we met, right, if we had not been open to the fact that there are other ways of developing leaders, we wouldn't have tried it, right?
Yep.
We piloted it, we tried it because we were open, and the organization was open to trying outside expertise available as well. It doesn't take away anything from the internal experience that we have, but sometimes just bringing in a person with a different perspective helps to open up the leadership to the other possibilities. So I think my confidence comes from the fact that I always had mentors who were open. The organizations where I've worked have been open to change, open to accept new ways of looking at things, and I'm blessed to have had that opportunity and to
Yeah.
have met you, Dina.
Thank you. I feel the same way. There is something about psychological safety. The first time people
Exactly.
try on a group, they're kind of like, I don't know what this is. So, but we're willing to try. I think that's really an important place. And if you don't have psychological safety, I want to talk about that. That is such a key component for leaders around the world to listen to this. If you don't have psychological safety inside your organization, or even inside these small groups where we have very confidential conversation, what's the risk to the company? I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Psychological safety, how important is it?
See, psychological safety is very important because when you are in a room with people who are not competing against you, who are not trying to pull you down, right? That's your safe space. And that's where you will share your innermost fears, or you'll be able to voice out what actually happened. And sometimes these conversations help you to understand your own fears and how do you, and you
Mhm.
yourself can overcome it. The only
Yes,
thing that you need is a group of like minded people, men or women, who
yes,
will not judge you
right.
and who will help you to work that problem out yourself by asking those questions, which you so well articulated through the steps in which diagnostic thinking can be done.
Mm.
So I feel there is a method and that process has been researched, and that is evident because we see the results when you do it in a safe group and you follow a methodology. You can see what difference it can make.
Mm.
Even
Yes,
for seasoned business leaders like myself, people who are experienced, who are in senior management, if we could benefit so much, you can imagine what the ripples of benefit it can create across a large organization.
yes. And I love that. That's exactly what you did. I love your tagline in your LinkedIn. It's like reimagining. That's what you did. You did that. You said, oh, well, we did this as leaders. I think we should just reimagine this for another group. So I'd love for you to
Exactly.
talk about kind of the process of where did you go next after you experienced it as a leader, and give us a little bit of thoughts around what was your hope for diagnostic thinking for this group of 26 and what was the outcome?
So we launched this Women in Leadership program, and we were looking at what all can we do to prepare these women for their next roles, for developing as leaders in a large organization like ours, which is growing at an immense pace. Our business is growing, and we did need leaders at all levels. And that's how we launched this program. And because of the experience we had had with diagnostic thinking, I thought this group of people also needed a safe space to discuss about their own problems and to also experience how if you go put a problem through the diagnostic thinking process, which is a standard method, structured method, the outcome that you could have.
Mhm.
And I am happy to say we got fantastic feedback. The all the women experienced a change. Many of them got promotions, or they got extra responsibility, or just felt more confident about coming forward and sharing their thoughts.
Yes, and it warms my heart because my purpose is to really unpack some of that subconscious so that we can have strategies, vetted strategies. Because when you put women together who have different experiences, oh my gosh, there's so many, like you said, iterations. I've done this, and so I've tried this, but if I had to do it over again, I'd probably do this, right? So it's kind of looking back and saying, how can I learn from others, but know that I'm not being judged. I'm not being thought of as being a less of a leader because I think this way, maybe I've done this. It means that you're all great. How can we move forward better together? But the strategies that they have 30 days to take action on is really important because you got to come back and tell people, well, what did you do with that time together, right? You can't just walk away and say, oh, well, we worked on your problem, Shashikala, for the last 2 hours and you didn't do anything with it. That never happens because we all put a lot of hard work into that. So just listening to the outcomes is it's so powerful because if you don't have a career acceleration at the rate you want, and there's a lot of people disappointed all over the world. I've heard a lot of things from a lot of people that are saying, great, 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 they didn't get the job, or they're too young, or they didn't get some of the feedback that they could use to go forward. But by thinking together and taking strategies, it's a very different approach, how you step into that confidence, but it's strategies, it's vetted strategies. It's not like we're just kind of throwing things at the wall and saying, oh, well, let's just try that. But it's taking the greatness for everyone in the group. So I appreciate that. What would you recommend to other leaders in other companies about diagnostic thinking, and where would you suggest that they take a look?
So I would suggest that they should try diagnostic thinking, bringing people from different business unit, different functions. Many a times in our busy lives, we don't necessarily get to meet all of the not even all, even a few of the people from diverse businesses and functions. When you put a diverse group of people together, what I feel is when they together solve a problem, discuss
Yeah,
each other's experiences, they find al- almost similar kind of problems exist,
right.
and collaboration is more, and they're willing to give and take. I think there's also a behavioral change which happens if
Yes.
you put this diverse group of
Yeah.
people through strategies like diagnostic thinking.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, we talk about this a lot with diversity and inclusion. A lot of companies are doing a lot with diversity and inclusion. And so kudos to all you out there who are in diversity and inclusion. Kudos, good job. One of the things we find that seems to be kind of a resonance around everyone, everyone's trying to find this comfort. So we've got ERG group over here, we have an ERG group over here, and we're starting to silo people and things. And what my hope is that we can connect those dots, kind of like what you said.
Exactly.
Can we
Yeah.
put people from different functions, different channels, different ways of how we look, so we don't look alike? Is there something I can learn from Shashikala and her life so that I can see more of a cross-cultural way of looking at things and solving real world critical problems? So I so appreciate, Shashishila, my friendship with you and the impact that we made within your organization. But I want to thank you for the heart of being a servant leader. And I think you're very impressive.
Thank you so much for bringing diagnostic thinking to us. The next step that for us is I think we should have a diverse group of people from different regions and then have them together in a diagnostic thinking group and see how the culture impact as well, your
Yes,
process of thinking and your process of
yes,
solutioning. I think everybody will learn from each other if
yes.
we are able to do this. So thank you very much, Dina. This is
You're
a
very welcome.
fantastic program, and I would certainly advocate it to the other organizations. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Shashikala Menon. For all of you around the world, want to thank you for being with us on our Confident Women Leaders show, and go out there and make an impact in the world. Thank you so much, Shashikala.
Thank you.